You ever seen a man with more money than he knows what to do with pretend to be asleep just to see if a 6-year-old girl would steal from him? Yeah, that actually happened, and I was that man sitting in a leather chair, breathing steady, eyes half open, waiting for a kid who didn't even come up to my desk to decide my whole opinion of humanity. The safe was wide open, cash stacked in crooked piles like some kind of test I had set up for the universe. Because after finding out my own business partner had robbed me blind of $3 million, I stopped trusting pretty much everyone. Partners, employees, hell, even family dinners felt like interrogations. I thought, all right, let's see if there's anyone left in this world who doesn't grab what isn't theirs. So Diana, the cleaning lady, comes in with her little girl Jasmine, 6 years old, wearing pink gloves like she was heading to a tea party instead of following her mom on night shifts. They had been coming around for a couple years, quiet, hardworking, never once giving me a reason to even notice them. But that night I noticed. Diana dusted shelves, focused as always, while Jasmine's eyes wandered toward my desk, toward that safe I'd left cracked open like a stage prop, daring someone to take a bow. Her eyes got wide, like any kid's would, but instead of reaching out, she frowned at the mess. And I swear, my heart was ready to break because I thought, here we go again. But the kid starts sorting the stacks, lining up bills, separating by size, like a miniature accountant whispering, "Mommy, Mr. Thomas's money is all messy. I fixed it." Diana freaked out. "Baby, don't touch the boss's things." And Jasmine just said, "But it was messy. He'll be happy when he wakes up." And I tell you, in that moment, I felt something I hadn't felt in years, maybe decades, a lump in my throat, because this child, who probably never held $20 in her hand, handled a fortune like it was sacred, like it wasn't hers to take, and she announced it proudly because she had nothing to hide. That tiny act cracked something wide open inside me. I started watching them more closely after that. Not in a creepy way, but just curious, you know? I saw Diana dragging herself through double shifts, me office at night, a doctor's clinic in the mornings, while Jasmine sat quietly doing homework, waiting, never complaining. I overheard Diana teaching her daughter, "We always return what isn't ours. Even if no one is watching, our honesty is worth more than money." She'd lost her parents at 9, grew up in foster care, clawed her way through school, and then at 22, she had Jasmine, and the father bolted. She worked every day since, alone, never once asking for charity. So I bumped her salary a little, quietly, thinking it would go unnoticed. Except Richard Blackwood noticed. Richard, vice president, 50, spoiled from birth, dripping arrogance like bad cologne. One board meeting, he smirked. "Thomas, why are we paying extra to cleaning staff? Especially her." I answered, "Because she's excellent." He laughed in my face. "People like her, give them a coin and they'll take the whole vault. It's in their blood." I should have thrown him out right then, but Richard wasn't just any employee, he was the founder's son, sitting on a pile of shares, tolerated because of his last name. That night, though, he went too far. I saw him corner Diana in the hall. "I know you're getting more money than you deserve," he hissed. "I don't know what kind of favors you're giving, but it ends now." Diana stammered, "Sir, I don't understand." And he sneered, "Of course you don't. People like you never do. Just clean, stay invisible, and get that child out of here. This isn't a daycare." Jasmine shrank behind her mother, trembling, and I swear something snapped in me. I wasn't just angry. I was furious in a way that felt clean, righteous. And Richard didn't realize every word, every sneer, was caught on the cameras he himself had installed. I called Marcus Chun, old friend, ex-FBI, the guy you go to when you want every skeleton dragged out of someone's closet. "I need you," I said. "This is about racism, abuse of power." He chuckled. "That daddy's boy? Easy prey. Guys like him always leave clues." And he did lawsuits buried by his father, employees bullied until they quit, racist rants in private forums. He was a predator, not just a bigot, a man who thrived on crushing anyone weaker. And instead of stopping, he escalated, fabricating violations, trying to push HR to fire Diana, cornering her in the parking lot with ugly insinuations. "People like you always have a price." When Jasmine whispered, "Mommy, why is he so mean?" Diana just said, "Some adults are unhappy and try to make others unhappy too." That broke me. So I set a trap. I let Richard think he was clever, let him plant a Rolex in her cleaning cart, let him march in with guards and act like Sherlock Holmes. He pulled it out dramatically. Ah, what's this? A $15,000 watch, missing from Mr. Mitchell's office. Diana froze, pale as chalk. I've never seen that before. He sneered. Of course not. It just appeared, right? He told security to call the cops. Jasmine clutched her mother's leg, terrified. And that's when I stepped out with Marcus, with journalists I'd called, with receipts. Richard, I said, calm as ice, hang up that phone. I've never owned a Rolex. But I do own footage of you buying one this morning and planting it in that cart. Marcus swiped through camera angles 1, 2, 3, every move recorded. Then we rolled out his racist posts, his private calls, his schemes with his father. Reporters shoved microphones in his face. Mr. Blackwood, care to comment on your systematic discrimination? His smirk collapsed into sweat, excuses, panic. And then the police walked him out in handcuffs. That should have been the end, but it wasn't. It was just the beginning. Diana got promoted, not just because she deserved it, but because she was the kind of leader we needed. HR director, building scholarship programs for employees' kids, making sure no one in my company ever faced what she did. Jasmine got into the best school in town, already dreaming of being a lawyer. My company transformed, winning awards for inclusion. Meanwhile, Richard lost everything: career, money, family, reputation. Ended up hawking used cars, earning less in a year than Diana made in 3 months, while his racist rants lived forever online, digital ghosts that kept him unemployable. Years later, I announced the Jasmine Jefferson Fund, scholarships for Black students for 50 years. Reporters asked why, and I said, because a 6-year-old reminded me the best answer to hate is love with action behind it. And I meant it. But here's where I want you to weigh in. Did I go too far? Was it justice or revenge? Richard lost everything, but Diana and Jasmine gained a life they deserved. Some say I ruined a man, others say I saved a family. What do you think? Was it fair? Was it enough? Or was it overkill? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Because this isn't just my story, it's a question about how far we go to protect what's right, and whether justice should crush or just correct.